here to his home track, actually, of Evergreen.
And the field now is getting the 1 to go. So next time around, we'll be back at it. They'll be working lap number 21 of 50. So Dawson Cox on the outside of Steve Potasic. That is the front row.
Keep your eye on that 45 car. We got 30 more laps of racing, and he was getting around real good. He has a real good bite off of the corner. So he's got plenty of laps left to make it up and get on the podium here this afternoon. Potasic brings him around. He's made great starts so far on the restart.
Another great restart for Potasic. Not quite as good as the last one. I think that's because Dawson Cox got up into that second spot. And if Potasic is the class of the field here tonight, Cox definitely has shown that he can just about run right with him. Single file for the most part as they go off into turns 1 and 2. Potasic still leading the way. Dawson Cox sitting in that second spot. And then it's Mike Marthaler who is up into third.
Mike Marthaler has been racing the street stocks up here for a good many years. Always competitive, always clean racer. That 7 car is staying right there. Dawson Cox. He's not allowing Potasic to really stretch it out like it had been earlier.
Well, Marthaler too, and Marthaler's right on that rear bumper of Dawson Cox. And also in that mix as well is Dario Redich.
Well, I'm glad you said that name because I would have said it wrong. Dario Redich.
I could be saying it wrong. Dario Redich.
Dario Redich.
There you go.
Sounds like an IndyCar racer. Marthaler is right on that rear bumper, just looking for that 7 car of Dawson Cox to slip just a little bit. Dawson got a good bite off of turn 2 that time. Marthaler looking to move underneath. It looks like he may get it done this way. No. Cox puts the hammer down and pulls away by about half a car length.
Well, I'll tell you what's not happening is Steve Potasic is no longer driving away from the field.
No, he's not.
He's got about 3 or 4 car lengths on Dawson Cox, but what we saw earlier, he had that stretched out to about 10 or 12.
He's backing it off just a little bit early, but I still think these second and third place cars are just about ready to close it up on him as the track dries out. We'll see. That track is starting to see some gray up high especially. It looks to me like the upper groove right now is almost, well, no, not when that car drove through there.
Now we're seeing a pretty good spray as they come down the front stretch, in particular when they come off of turn number 4. And I think that may be affecting Potasic. As Potasic goes by the 29.
Wow, look at Cox.
Look, Cox is right on him now.
Cox in that number 7D car. He is right there. He's trying a different line. I don't think that Potasic really has been taking it easy. I think Cox has just turned up the crank here.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Potasic is having a little bit of trouble getting around. Every time he's on that drive off, we can see that rear end start to get squirrely on him. And Dawson Cox right now seems to be handling much better. And now he is right under the rear bumper cover of Potasic as they went through turns 3 and 4. Cox letting Potasic know that he was there.
Well, that's why God put bumpers on the front of race cars. Now he backed it off just a little. I think I may have seen the flagman maybe shake a little finger at him. I'm not real sure of that. This is going to be exciting. Let's see. We still got 20 laps of racing to go, so a lot can happen. A lot can happen right now.
And a lot has happened, and you know, we go from the earlier where Potasic was so dominant, and now we're seeing Dawson Cox for the last 4 or 5 laps look like he was actually better than Potasic, But now it looks like Potasic's starting to pick up that pace again, Ron.
Well, I think they're moving it up just a little bit. I don't
Yellow.
know. Yeah. And we're yellow for